For a game that faced its share of delays and had almost zero marketing from Sony, it's incredible that Until Dawn turned out the way it did. Launched in 2015 for the PS4, the storyline took inspiration from slasher films, focusing on 8 friends as they traversed Blackwood Mountain for a retreat. The cinematic presentation was backed by exceptional production values and strong performances, further accentuated by the fixed camera angles, which also served as a callback to older survival horror titles. It would also resonate with fans thanks to its writing and branching outcomes, pushing the limits of adventure games and crossing over into interactive drama. The format was so successful that it influenced Supermassive Games' future work, as seen in the Dark Pictures anthology, The Quarry, and the casting of Frank Stone. Also, despite the hardware's limits, Until Dawn leveraged it to deliver excellent facial and body animations, atmospheric lighting and shadows, and realistic environments. A ground-up remake. While other PlayStation titles like Horizon Zero Dawn and The Last of Us get the remastered treatment, Sony opted for a remake with Until Dawn, handing the reins to Ballistic Moon, which features several former members of Supermassive. Instead of improving the base game's visuals or upgrading it for the PS5, the studio rebuilt it from the ground up for the console and PC. It also added several changes, like a reworked prologue, providing more context to the events that served as the basis for the rest of the game. There are new areas which offer new interactions, a third-person camera in some instances, new totems to collect, and much more. But how does all of this compare to the original?
Another 10 minutes in there and I would have chewed off my own leg.
Oh, sick, Chris.
Look, got a lot of meat on my bones. This is all muscle down here.
Yeah, right.
Unreal Engine 5 serves as the base for the remake, with almost everything from models, environments, animations, and effects seeing updates. The improvements to materials, especially on clothing, rendering, and textures for characters and environments, on top of a higher level of detail, bring the world to life with startling fidelity. It even allows for revamping the system used to inflict injuries on characters, resulting in more realistic cuts and bruises, making some deaths look much more eerie than the original, even without the excessive gore. Meanwhile, ray tracing is implemented for shadows, ambient occlusion, and reflections to stellar effect.
You're right. No need for violence, just a little harmless fun. We're up in the woods, it's spooky. Come on, let's get into the spirit of things.
The spirit of things? Seriously, what's wrong with you?
I'm just trying to lighten the mood, Em.
Lighting and shadow improvements. One of the more notable examples of the new lighting can be seen in the prologue after Beth storms out of the cabin. The original game featured the rest of the cast outside arguing while they were illuminated by the interior lighting. In the remake, that illumination is more natural and warm, resulting in more subtle shadows and varying color tones. It even serves to light up other background characters like Emily and Jessica, especially when the latter appeared more shrouded in shadows in the original. The difference in quality of lighting and shadows is all the more apparent when we follow Hannah in the prologue as she searches for Beth. The moon rays and the shadows they create in the original are more defined. However, in the remake, they're softer and feel more natural, resulting in a different kind of atmosphere that's more foreboding and gothic. When Beth uses the flashlight on her phone, there's a defining contrast between its hard glare and the moonlight on the environment. This sequence is a bit extended, resulting in a change of pacing with some extra scares and surprises, but soon follows the same frantic chase sequence and quick-time events of the original. Tone shifts and improved models. Of course, the first chapter, where Sam arrives at the Blackwood Mountain 1 year later, is where some more divisive stylistic choices emerge. The original Until Dawn opted for a nighttime atmosphere where, once again, the moon is the major light source. We even see the title's chapter, Memento Mori, with the added text 10 hours until dawn, implying that it's in the evening/early night. However, the remake removes this text and opts for more dusk-style lighting with wildly different color tones. The jury is out on this and how it impacts the overall atmosphere. Some are indifferent, others hate it with a burning passion. Perhaps it's meant to highlight the increased fidelity, including the higher level of detail in the environment, like more extensive tree branches and foliage. Even the Blackwood Pine sign looks more weathered and defined with discolored textures compared to the original's flat board, which looks like it was carved out the day prior. As much criticism as one can heap on some time of day changes and their accompanying lighting or the new camera perspective, there's no denying just how incredible the character models look. The detailed skin textures showcase visible pores, while the eyes appear more vibrant. The difference in Sam's clothing, with the cap featuring meticulously detailed fur strands, or the scarf with more defined frayed threads, is also simply incredible to behold. Snowflakes on clothes are also more visible, adding further to the attention to detail. The facial animations are also a major upgrade without being too over the top.
It really means a lot to me that everyone came back this year, and that you came, Sam.
Josh, we're here for you. Really, whatever you need, whenever, we're all gonna make it through this. Together.
I want us to have a good time, Hey, watch your step.
I think I can handle a little old set of stairs.
Overhauled cinematography. Another interesting contrast between the two versions is how Ballistic Moon revamped much of the cinematography. It varies extensively. Take the prologue scene where Beth leaves the cabin and shows more of the characters outside than the original, a decidedly more subtle change. However, in the cabin in Chapter 1, Sam confronting Josh about no hot water features a different camera angle entirely, which actually shows off more of the environment and lighting, but still gives the impression of viewing the action from behind Chris and Ashley. The shaky cam as seen in the sequence, where a masked figure chases Josh and Sam, also feels more natural, meshing better when cutting to the figure stumbling. Overall, the Until Dawn remake is a significant upgrade in visuals. It improves on the base game in numerous ways, providing more haunting environments and extensive detail on its characters. The new cinematography also looks crisp without taking away from the original's vision, and the lighting and shadows look immaculate. First chapter tones aside, it captures the creepiness and harrowing atmosphere of the original to a T, even amplifying it to new heights. If you've never experienced the original, the remake is worth checking out, though you might want to wait for patches to address some of the reported bugs.
No way, bro. I mean, we used to do it all the time, me and... Well...
Josh, no hot water's kinda a major oversight, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta fire up the boiler. It's in the basement.
Conclusion. However, it's impressive how much the original Until Dawn is held up by today's standards. As much as I enjoyed the more natural lighting and softer shadows, or the rebuilt character models and how much more expressive they are, there's an atmosphere to the original which feels distinct and oppressive. Perhaps it's the colder tones and starker lighting which lead to a more dramatic effect, or the presentation. Regardless, PS5 players may want to check it out despite the lack of a dedicated upgrade, not only because of a lower price point, but to experience Supermassive's vision firsthand. And with that, we reach the end of this video. Have anything to say? Let us know in the comments below. Also, we upload new videos every single day on GamingBolt, so please consider subscribing as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.